reason why people continue to confront all of this stuff.
Come a little closer.
Maybe I should just what I want to do with it. But yeah, it's hard to keep defending it.
I think if I could give you some advice, I think what really helps solidify my deconstruction / atheism is watching debates. Continue to subscribe to people like the Baddassery Engineer, The Line, and go to TikTok. There are dozens and dozens of fabulous atheist creators on TikTok who do debates, and I think it'll really help you kind of go, this is the religion for me. Between having that contrast between Christians and atheists will really help you.
Yeah, again, I have been. I remember starting kind of my deconstruction via YouTube with like Jimmy Snow, actually, when he went through, or when he was called through Mr. Atheist, and Owen Morgan was called Hotel, so I would like jump into it. So I was like, oh wait, I remember that one time in youth group where they're like, let's learn about cults, and then I was like, doesn't that mean we're cults? And then apparently, no, Owen Morgan Lutheranism is not a cult, so good for that. But, you know, it's so weird.
Yeah, all organized religions are culty to me.
This time, the mysteries have all been solved. It sure took a lot of work.
I agree
In
with
all
you.
fairness, this treasure map really is terrible. It looks like it was drawn by a pirate.
Among other things. But
Yeah, right.
So, also, I was wondering how you debate a polytheist.
I mean, it would for me it would be the same thing. Just every single god they claim.
Don't want anyone else to get
You know, it doesn't matter how many gods they're claiming. Like each one's you're gonna need to provide evidence for that god. And so, like, if you're just ad hoc stating that this god exists, then that's not any kind of reason to, like, believe in that god or to become convinced that that god exists. You need some kind of justification that actually cements that god in reality, as opposed to just somebody, because somebody could just come along and claim any, a new pantheon of gods, and if they don't provide evidence for it, and they just expect you to believe it, then literally anybody can get you to believe anything.
Yeah, it's interesting when it's one god who is all-powerful, and then polytheism, to me, makes more sense, because you're attributing certain, like, for example, I don't know, you know, like the Greek versions of God. You got Zeus, you got different ones, and they're all, like, known for at least 3 things, and not everything, so it would make more sense to be like, well, this god is angry with you because you did this thing, but not all the gods. So for whatever reason, it's a little bit easier to, I don't know, I like that better. And one god is used for everything, and if you hate one piece of that god, then you hate all of him, and I'm like, that's weird.
I also think that you'll just find a lot more peace outside of, I mean, I think polytheism is fine. I mean, it makes more sense than Yahweh, I guess, but even Christians would argue that they kind of are polytheistic because of Jesus, Holy Spirit, and God, but I don't know. I think there's more, but I do think there is more peace into just, like, not fucking worrying about it, because at the end of the day, you can learn about astronomy and science and astrophysics and history and dating mechanisms, and you can learn about all of these things, and then just, like, have fun enjoying nature and learn about trees and learn about sharks, learn about all these different topics, rather than being like, that's a sun god, that's a rock god, that's a plant god, and that's a cloud god. Like, my goodness, I think I think you're just still kind of wasting your time there. I think if you're gonna do it, jump into agnosticism and just be in the world of non-belief for the first time in your life. For me, once I deconstructed everything, I went, there is no room for another god. I did everything. Fucking levitated, spoke in tongues, had dreams, did magic, pretend. I thought I did. And then when I deconstructed that, I was like, there's no room for this hidden other God. No, it's gone. I mean, no, there's no other God. So just live in reality.
Yeah, I guess for me, it's I guess, again, easier to accept polytheism again, because it's like, well, if you attribute 3 things to this God and 3 things to this God, then it's easier to be like, well, I don't like this God instead of like part of Yahweh or whatever. But, yeah.
Well, if I can ask, Lindsay, why is a God necessary to begin with? It kind of seems to me like we can explain all of those things without needing to insert some kind of supernatural space wizard or multiple ones in there.
I mean, technically we don't, because now we are past superstition, I guess, and I think religion might still be superstition, but just written down, and I don't know. It's weird. I was listening to Christopher Hitchens, and where he was like something about religion is the last dogmatic piece we have to unlearn in order to advance as a species, and I'm like, that kind of makes sense, but that's also really hard, considering we have, not just Christianity, but Islam as well, and depending on where you live, you have in America we have the differentiation between church and state, and in some Islamic countries there is no definite line between church and state. The religion is the law of the land, so that's going to be hard to do as a species, I guess, but I don't know.
I still don't see how we need a God to explain it. Like, I don't understand the explanatory power that proposing a God or adhering to one God or many gods provides us with understanding reality.
No, I was saying that I agree with you. I was saying that Christopher Hitchens said something to the effect of that getting away from God as the answer is the way of moving forward as a species, and I was just saying, I would think it would be harder in places where there is no separation between church and state, where the religion is the law of the land. So, I was just, in very broad strokes, saying, it would be hard.
It would be hard in that case because everybody is saying that God is necessary, but I guess what I'm trying to appeal to is the fact that God doesn't provide us with any kind of explanatory power in the way of understanding our reality. So for you personally, not for people in Iran or Iraq or anything like that, but for you personally, I don't see the benefit of inserting a God into your worldview, which I know you said you were kind of deconstructing and everything like that, so.
It's just, I know, it's hard to let it go, because it's been my reality for so long. And again, it's the implications of letting it go, it's well, great.
Other than social implications, what implications are we talking about? Is it just the social ones, or do you think that there's other implications?
Oh no, definitely just social.
Oh, yeah, but the people in your life who are Christian, who are jerks, they're going to be jerks regardless.
I don't have many of those. But
then what social implications are you worried about? I live in a Christian nationalist area. I have 5 cults within a 10-mile radius of each other. And everybody in my family are Christian nationalists, and they're hardcore Trump supporters.
I'm sorry.
So me deconstructing, I'm actually, like, they don't know. I never told them I was going to do it. I think they figured it out now, but, I mean, that's fine. Thank you for being bad for me. I mean, it is what it is, and so, me deconstructing was just for my own sense of peace of mind, because I didn't want to be on the wrong side of history while ICE is, you know, kidnapping all these people out of their homes, and they're bombing countries illegally, and all these other things. Oh, I was hitting my camera first. Did it?
Yeah, try to turn it. There you go. You're back.
Thank you, Lex. Thank you, Lex. Yeah, well, under this crazy rain we're at, I think it's important for me to use my voice to warn people about Christian nationalism and the harm that religion causes, to get people to deconstruct, because this is not the time you want to start converting to a religion. This is not the time. So I would say the social implications, if you don't actually have them, like I have them. My family, they have Trump flags over their house, right? Like, I have those social implications. Luckily, my partner is an atheist, and he's like a super leftist socialist, so I got lucky. Other than in my safety in my home, which is really great, everybody else I've ever grown up with, I've ever been friends with, 100% of those communities got completely cut off. But it was worth it, because my sense of peace, I didn't want to be a part of a religion that literally calls for the oppression of women in so many dangerous ways, like telling women they're allowed to be, the Bible says you're allowed to, you know, essay your spouse. In 1 Corinthians chapter 7, it gives you permission for marital rape, right? Which is just like super gross and terrible. And, you know, it tells women that they need to shut up and submit to men. We have to have a dress code. We have to be modest. It pushes purity culture and selling women into sex slavery. So it's like, I don't want to be part of that. And it was important for me to cut off those communities and those social ties, because I knew how harmful it was to my safety and the safety of other marginalized groups that I am very, you know, that I care deeply about. So I would want you to kind of think about it in that way. If you don't actually have, like, and I always tell people, if you are deconstructing and you're in an environment like a house full of Christian nationalists, super Trumpers, don't risk them kicking you out. Always weigh out your options. That's why, like, I didn't tell my family, I'm an atheist and God sucks, right? I didn't tell them that because to me it wasn't worth doing that, but in my own sanity, it was okay for me to admit that to myself. But always, guys, always make sure that your safety is protected before you go out and be a angry, deconstructing king, queen, gay, they, right? Whatever the case is, please make sure you're safe, first and foremost, before you go crazy. I've had people tell me, oh my gosh, I'm going to house because it was worth me screaming about God. No, it's not worth it. It's not worth you being out on the street, right? So, do it in your mind, and do it in a safe way. Do it in a safe way. Deconstruct in a safe way. But if you don't have those worries, then just do it. You're already in a good spot, right? You're already deconstructing. You're like, just do it. You know, it's not gonna. It's really, especially because you know, you're a woman, right? It's not gonna benefit you. It's not gonna benefit you staying in a group like that. And I want to read you out. I want to see you healthy.
Yeah, definitely. The other question I had was, I was listening to Lutheran Satire. So it's a YouTube video. And in the end, it said, also saying we don't believe in God because of science is like saying we don't need to believe in orthodontists because of braces. Is that just word salad, or does that mean anything to either of you? That just sounds like word salad to me.
Can you repeat it real quick?
Okay. So
Sure. It says we don't need to believe in God. It says, also saying we don't need to believe in God because of science is like saying we don't need to believe in orthodontics because of braces.
It makes sense, but it's just silly.
Well, so for me, it sounds a little incoherent, at least to me, just because, like, we're not saying that, like, you can't believe in or accept science and you've either got to accept science or you've got to accept God. Like, I live in North Alabama. There's more doctorates here, and most people are religious. So, like,